Diane Pollock here with No Limits Charters. A little bit of a different video clip this week. If you've been following me, you know that I'm up in Charlotte, North Carolina, working on the prosthetic socket here, the part that actually holds it on to me. And then once we get this dialed in, we can work with the alignment to smooth out the walk and the stride during the gait. I just wanted to give you a little bit of information about the prosthesis. For me, as a boat captain, it happens to be one of my most important pieces of equipment. As you can imagine, missing the leg above the knee presents a pretty steep set of challenges for anybody. For me, it's being on the water and being the charter boat captain. It's critical for me to get all of this stuff properly fitted and aligned and functioning properly. Once all of this is zeroed in, then it's really not so bad being on the boat or on the water. To start with, the knee that I wear is a computerized knee actually. It has a chip in the top part here, computer chip in it. And what it does is it monitors 50 times a second where I'm at on the prosthesis, whether I'm torquing it, spinning it, if my weight is on the heel versus the toe. It's really pretty dynamic. It's got a lot of the technology in it these days that make it so much easier to walk without having to devote a lot of your mental energy to keeping up with what's going on. It has a gyroscope in it that feeds the computer as well, that detects where I'm at spatially. It has an accelerometer in it, so the faster I walk, the faster it responds and the faster it moves with me. It's on the back here, it's got a cylinder in it, hydraulic fluid, and the computer chip feeds that hydraulic cylinder and makes it respond appropriately for how my weight it's falling on it, whether I'm twisting or putting a lot of weight on the toe. Once the computer realizes that I'm trying to swing the prosthesis through, it releases this hydraulic cylinder and the fluid in it, and that way the foot just kind of free swings through. Really super neat. It's saltwater proof, so I can literally take it in the surf, salt spray. All I have to do is rinse it off and then turn it upside down, let it drain, and it's good to go the next day. Carbon fiber housing on it to eliminate some of the weight that's associated with housing all of these components. It's aircraft aluminum here that holds the hydraulic cylinder itself and the piston. This device here is another component that's the pump, and what this does is monitors the vacuum pressure in here that locks it onto me. I can set that via Bluetooth with my phone and adjust the pressure or the vacuum, the drawdown that it's placing on my stump to keep it secured fast, where I don't have to worry about it falling off or breaking loose. It's if you're more aggressive activities, a lot of time I'll have it turned up as high as it'll go. If I'm just riding in the car, maybe I don't need all that extra vacuum, then I can just dial it down very easily where it's not drawing my stump the same way, since I'm just riding or not doing something that requires so much attention with it staying on and me being able to read it. The firmer it stays on, the easier it is for me to read it, which equates to less energy with actually trying to walk with it. Now this week what we've been working on a lot is the prosthetic socket, this upper part here, and it actually comes off with this key here on a nylon peg that lets me couple it or uncouple it. I do have just a straight peg leg that does not have a foot on it. It's just a round peg on the end, and I used to wear that on the boat and fishing and on the beach or in the surf, just because the technology hadn't came or progressed enough where I could wear it in the salt water. So nothing was really saltwater proof until this particular knee and foot and ankle system came out. The foot in this also has a rubber shell on it that takes up the space in the shoe, so that I can actually put it in the shoe and can size the shoes with the foot that I do have. and that way that's how you determine your shoe size and your foot gear. Underneath the rubber shell that's in here is just basically carbon fiber leaf, or actually a couple of carbon fiber leaves that go forward, so that when I'm on the toe of it, it gives me some spring back, some returns energy back during the gait when I'm pushing off for the next step. The socket part here is what we're trying to fit this week. This is just hard acrylic here. It's moldable, easy to adjust when you're trying to get the fit just right. And it does come up to your groin. It's rubbing or touches you here on the lateral outside part of your hip, and that way it kind of locks you in this way. So all of this has to be extremely intimately fit so that it doesn't put blisters on you or chew you up anywhere or bruise you for that matter. It's trying to get the pads and the fit right in the groin and the hip. This is more of a softer foam, moldable type foam that we've used here to build in some support in the groin. You actually use cork material, so it's cork used a little differently than you would think about using it, especially if you're in the fishing. You know what cork's good for, besides padding up a prosthetic socket to make it fit better. The liner that I put on, or the sleeve, is called a liner. It's trimmed for me. It's polyurethane silicone, very pliable. It's thicker in the bottom. I roll this on my stump first, and that gives me protection for my skin as far as blisters and abrasions go, and the padding in the bottom gives you shock absorption and extra cushion, especially around where the end of the bone is. It's designed to give me torque protection if I'm spinning in the prosthesis. This absorbs some of that twist, and then again the shock absorption on the bottom with it being thicker. Once I get this part on, then I pull another sleeve on, and it's kind of a knit sock that has a silicone ring in it. If you've seen the pictures of the socket when I've had the leg on, this is what pulls against the walls of the socket here on the inside and creates the vacuum seal. So once the vacuum seal is secure, I use alcohol to spray on this to make it slide down in the acrylic, and it evaporates quickly, and once it evaporates, then you're really locked in nicely inside of the socket. So I just wanted to give everybody a quick brief summary of how this prosthesis works. If you've keeping up with me on any of the social media accounts, you've seen some of what we go through, amputees as a whole. It's not easy, so anytime you see an amputee that's making the effort and the commitment to wear a prosthesis, there's a lot that goes into that, and very, very much putting the will over the body a lot of times, because even me, you get frustrated and you get tired of it and you're ready to just crash out of it. But this is great stuff, works great, allows me to be on the water, pursue a life on the water, whether it's on the boat, in the surf, or just hanging out on the dock or fishing anywhere, in the beach. It's come such a long ways. A shout out to our vets, because they're the ones that have paid the price for all of this technology to advance to the level it is. This is a military grade leg here that I wear. It's available to civilians now, but like I said, it's all tested, improved, and designed for our vets coming back, and I can't think of anybody that's more deserving of this technology and hardware, as well as the software and the computer system in it. So, quick shout out to What the Fin Nation as well. Hope everybody's good and enjoying life. Until next time, thank you.